I'm super excited to be recording my first ever vlog today, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, the recipe that I'll be sharing with you is for delicious coffee creamer cupcakes. What I love about this recipe is that it's so customizable. Whatever your favorite coffee creamer is, whether you're a vanilla person, maybe you prefer chocolate, whatever you like, it'll be delicious in this recipe. They get great reviews wherever I go, so I think you will love it too. So first we'll go through the ingredients and the recipe briefly, and then we'll spend some time using that pastry bag to get that frosting piped onto your cupcakes, give it that professional looking finish that your cupcakes deserve. So without further ado, grab your apron and meet me in the kitchen. So your first step is to gather all of your ingredients. The full list is in the description box below. Then you preheat your oven to 325 degrees and line your muffin pan with liners. Mix together your flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt in a medium-sized bowl, and then set this aside. Then you want to get your coffee brewing, if you haven't already. You can use a Keurig, a regular coffee machine, whatever you prefer. Yum, coffee. Then, in a large pan over medium heat, melt your butter and stir in the cocoa powder once the butter is melted. Helps to cut it into chunks if you want it to melt faster. You guys, this is the most wonderful smell ever. Then you take the pan off of the hot burner and mix in your coffee and buttermilk. Then add in the sugar and whisk it till it's dissolved. Crack in an egg. Crack in your second egg. Whisk it all up. This is why you want it to be cooled so you don't have scrambled eggs. Add your vanilla. Vanilla's my favorite. Whisk it again until it's all combined, and then add the flour mixture to the batter. Stir it up with a spatula until it's well combined. You may want to start mixing with a whisk after it's combined to get rid of the rest of the lumps in the batter. Even though a few lumps are okay, you don't want it to be too lumpy. Using a 1/4 cup scoop or an ice cream scooper, pour the batter evenly into your muffin tins. You want it to be about 3/4 of the way up so that when the cupcakes rise, they don't explode out of the sides. Bake those for 12 to 15 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. This first toothpick is not good. I'll put them in for a few more minutes and then test it again. A few moist crumbs on your toothpick are okay. Here I'll probably add them in for just another minute and then they should be good to go. Let your cupcakes cool in the pan for about 5 minutes and then on a wire cooling rack for about an hour. It's important to let them cool all the way so that your frosting doesn't melt. To make the frosting, get a big bowl, powdered sugar, shortening, your coffee creamer, the Espresso chocolate coffee mate, a stick of butter, a sifter, and a hand mixer. Using your mixer, cream together your butter and your shortening, about a 1/2 cup of each, though I do usually estimate on the shortening. Cream this together, scraping the bowl once to make sure that you can combine everything, mixing it again, and then start to add your powdered sugar. Only add it 1 cup at a time, mixing in between and scraping the bowl each time as well. As you add the powdered sugar, you will notice your frosting getting a little more lumpy and crumbly. This is okay as we still have to add the coffee creamer to make it more creamy. Stir it one final time and then pour in your coffee creamer, starting with just 1 cup. I've found that this makes the best frosting consistency, but if yours is still a little crumbly, feel free to add some more, just a tablespoon or so at a time so that it's not too watery. Then you can cover the frosting and put it in the fridge until your cupcakes are cooled and you're ready to frost. I like the Cakemate brand, and I like the Cakemate decorating tips. We'll be using the 2D tip. You can find the tip and the bags linked in the description box below as well. To get started, choose your piping tip and insert it into the bag. You'll make a small snip on the bag near the middle of the tip in order to score it. Remove the tip, finish the cut, and then insert the tip again. This makes sure that the tip won't fall out once you start frosting. To fill your bag up, roll a small lip down around the edge of the plastic about an inch, and then cup this plastic over the edge of your non-dominant hand. You'll use that lip to help get the frosting off of the spatula and into the bag. I sort of use my finger that's covered by the bag to help get it off of the spatula. You want to fill your bag up most of the way, getting in as much as you can and trying to eliminate any air bubbles. Once your bag is full, roll up the lip of the bag, grip it at the top so that none can come out, and push the frosting down towards the tip. You want to push it all down so that you do not have any air bubbles or gaps in the frosting remaining. Use your dominant or stronger hand at the top of the bag to squeeze the frosting down through the bag. Then you can use your non-dominant hand holding it near the tip to guide the bag to create a nice design, or you can hold your cupcake. So to create a design, start at the outer edge and start pressing the frosting out. Make a nice slow swirl around the outside. As you come to the middle, make a smaller circle inside and continue swirling around. To finish off the cupcake, make one more spiral that overlaps the frosting you've already laid down. This gives it some height. Press the tip down slightly and release the flow of frosting and pull the bag away. It's okay if your cupcakes aren't perfect. They'll still taste just as delicious. Practice with a method that you prefer. For example, maybe you like to go slower. Maybe you like to overlap the frosting more and use a heavier pressure. You can even practice starting at the center and spiraling outwards. I think this makes a really pretty rose shape. However, this doesn't add on the height to the frosting that some people like. You can even practice with just making tiny dots by pressing and releasing the frosting quickly. This makes a fun texture. And voila! So I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And as I mentioned, for the full recipe and directions, I have put the link in the description box below. And I've also included a link to the materials that I use. So the piping bag and the piping tips, if you liked the design that we made today, or if you wanted to try some of those other tips, feel free to check out that link as well. And since this was my first video, I would appreciate your support so much. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Even subscribe if you would like to see what I have coming up next. Thanks again so much for watching. Until next time, I have a cupcake to eat.